Hey, you guys. Oh, it's so hot. Actually, I'm not like hot. It's just humid. It's humid for us. Hope you guys can hear. If you guys can hear, can you guys let us know whether or not you can hear okay? If you can see okay, look at the cameras actually in the shot. That's no bueno. Oh well, we'll figure it out. Can you hear me, babe?
Yep, sounds like it.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to check me now.
Oh, good. Stephanie says she can hear. April says she can hear. Oh, very good. Thank you, thank you. We're using new software tonight, you guys, because I could not get my other software to work to be able to stream to YouTube.
Turn you down now.
Yeah. Ooh, praise Jesus. It is warm. Good evening, good evening. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you for being on.
Y'all, look. I am so pitiful. There is like literally, what would you say, 20 feet, babe, between our house and the studio?
If that.
Maybe 20 feet. I do count like 12 additional feet for the laundry room because that's where the heat starts.
I'm going to say 6 yards. So what is 6 yards? Yeah, 20 feet. All right.
And Lee says she can't hear either of us very well.
I'm muted.
So David is muted. Are you having a hard time hearing me too? It's probably because I'm fanning. And I bet you the mic is probably...
You have to accentuate your audio or something.
Oh, I don't know how to do that on here. Let me see.
I got you turned up all the way. All right, so that's both of us turned up basically all the way.
Okay. Recording settings are disabled while live. Okay, so I can't do anything about that. So I don't know. I think YouTubers, it just sounds like you're. Yeah, I do have the air on, girl, because you see me like I'm glistening over here. Because it's hot. It's not. It's not. It's probably as hot as it has been, but it's humid. And y'all know we Arizonans, we like dry heat. So it is humid, and so
You're going to have to really project.
I'm gonna have to really project. Oh my.
Also, your microphone is turned into your body.
Oh, okay. I thought I had it like turned so that it would be right. What? Oh no, if I put it that way, maybe? No, this is gonna be inside my shirt. Oh heck! What am I supposed to do here? Okay, is that better? Is that better, you guys? Let me know. I will try to be loud. It's weird because I think that we're actually using the mic from the tablet is what's happening, and so it's picking up the air more than
I think you probably
my mic would, and I don't know how to fix that.
That's fine. We can just.
The mic, hold on, it's giving me two choices. Okay, rodeo. Now I changed it now, so that's probably better. That should be better, you guys. We changed the mic. You can lip read. That's not good. I think that's gonna be better.
All right. I know this is going to be a pain in the neck because you're going to hear it coming back, but I want to hear me.
Good. Oh, okay, that's fine. I think that's gonna be better.
All right. I know this is going to be a pain in the neck because you're going to hear.
Okay. Good evening, you guys. Don't y'all, we just love technology, don't we? We just love it. We do. We love it. Um, let's start by saying hi to everybody.
All right. Let's see. On the Facebooks, we have Dorothy Lage, Beth Ray, Alyssa Bricker Visithin, Flea Brown, Karen Moyer, Donna Simpson from Queensland, Australia. Let's see, Kristen Nyasha from Milwaukee, Donna Simpson, Chris Schmidt, Michael Thompson is watching. You should be in the kitchen, Mike.
It's Sunday. They're probably closed. Like
No. That's the big deal. Is La Paloma's open on Sunday.
Oh.
So that's where all the church-going folk like to go, and it's good. On top of it, it's good. Yes. So go to La Paloma. Donna Simpson said the AC is louder than you. I think that was from before you made the adjustment.
Hopefully with the adjustments, it's better.
Yeah. Melissa Paget, Laura Andrews, Kathy Hall, Pam Morgan, and Kathleen O'Brien Hoovis from beautiful Illinois. Now I get to say something we haven't said since I think January.
What?
Everybody on YouTube.
Oh, I know. And Ken is here too, please.
Oh, Ken's here too? Good, yeah. Ken. Good man. Hey, Ken, I just ordered a book. This was my treat to me on Tommy Gunn. So it is, I'll explain it in a minute.
Okay.
Stephanie, this is on YouTube. Stephanie, Made on Maple Lane. April Meeker, Doris and grandchildren. No grandkids for us tonight. Yay. Don't tell our daughter-in-law. April Meeker, Phyllis said, missed you both so much. Please come back to Sunday nights.
We are back. We're going to try to make it 2 Sundays a month. Although the second Sunday of July, we will not. Well,
we'll explain that in a minute.
Yeah, we'll explain that in a minute.
April Meeker, Mary Beth Martin, Karen Nance, Just Yolanda C., Chris Bures or Bures, I'm not sure how, Bures, and Lisa Dickey.
Good evening, you guys. Thank you guys so much. If you guys are new to Recycled, I'm Royce. The voice you hear behind the camera is my handsome husband, David Bell. And together we make up Recycled Treasures. And
oh, that's right. Michael Thompson, Sunday is Radio Lunch Club for La Paloma.
Oh, what's Radio Lunch Club?
Radio Lunch Club, you get a discount.
I know, but what is it?
Okay, so my radio station did this. Actually, they did this during the housing collapse to help the local economy.
Oh,
the local restaurants agreed to do a special once a day, and every day is a different restaurant. So there are 7 restaurants that are part of the Radio Lunch Club, and you could get the special.
Yes.
And Sunday, the Radio Lunch Club is La Paloma Restaurant.
Yeah, so what is it? Is it like...
I don't know what the special is. Mike's got to tell us that.
Tell us what the special is. Okay.
But every day is a different special at a different restaurant, which encourages you to A, go to those restaurants, and B, save a little money.
Yeah.
It's win-win for everybody.
So, tonight, you guys, I'm going to finish some of my PhDs.
So I'm going to tell you, you still need to really project because the air is on.
Okay, so I still need to really project. So I'm going to taco tostada enchilada with rice and beans and a drink. Okay. See, that sounds like a good dinner. Just saying. Tonight I'm going to be finishing some projects, you guys, because you guys know how I am. You guys know me. So one, I'm super excited to finish because you guys remember the glass tray that we started probably, I don't even know, February. It may have been one of the last ones we did before we were going to go off, but I still haven't put it in there. So we're going to do it together. But while I was live, somebody had suggested that I buy one of these, and we're going to do it together so you guys can see how this works. Because if you're upcycling and repurposing and you use a lot of frames, you're going to want one of these in your stash. So we're going to do that together. So I'm going to switch the cameras here so the table can be, I wish I could have done that like the other way. Anyways, we're working with new technology, so we're going to have to work it out. Is that close enough for you guys? I can't zoom with this program either. Switcher Studio needs to fix their stuff because I'm so upset. And we're using StreamYard tonight. And I just really like Switcher Studio better, but it's okay. So this is the glass we did. And just in case you weren't with us, we used the Roycycled Burlap Roses decoupage paper. And we did a reverse decoupage on the back. And we took steps to maximize the transparency of this paper. You guys see this? One of the reasons I love my tissue paper is because you can play with the transparency and it actually offers you additional opportunities when you're creating. And inside of the Royce Cycled Decoupage with Confidence course, we spent quite a bit of time playing with the transparency and looking at some creative opportunities because we have this cardboard behind it and we decoupage the Royce Cycle typography love on that one. And so now when I put my tray together, you will be able to see all the yummy typography right through the glass on this tray. And because all of the paper is underneath the tray, I don't have to worry about spills or anything because whatever gets on here, I can just wipe it right up, right? So I wanted to put this together with you guys so that we could do it together. So let's do that. I was going to clean this class before we started, but I'll wait.
I have a question for you. You may
Yes.
not want to do it. So it is, your overhead is in portrait mode.
I know, but it's gonna I don't know how to fix that. Like,
I know, that's why I'm asking. So I didn't know if
see something.
you wanted to try and move it so it filled the screen.
I can't. I'm sorry, you guys. We're using a different program, and for whatever reason, this is how it's because I'm using my phone instead of a webcam, but I can't connect the webcam to the tablet. I mean,
So
I can.
we'll make do.
I know. I apologize for tonight, you guys.
I just wasn't sure if that was something you cared about or not. So.
I do. It's why I want Switcher Studio to fix their stuff.
Ooh, there was almost a nasty word that came out there. I heard it. It got swallowed.
I need them to fix it. I really, really do. Let me see if there's a way that I can.
Oh, Linda Ruiz is watching.
Hey, Linda.
Great Grandma Linda. What do they call? What is Tiana's name for Linda?
You know what? I don't know. Because Kathy is Nana, right?
It's Nana, right? Who just had a birthday.
Yes.
So
even if I have this camera on the full screen, let's remove me and see what happens. Because y'all don't need to see me. Y'all don't see me already. I know. I'm sorry, you guys. This is the best we're going to be able to do tonight. And hopefully we'll get it fixed. Because I feel y'all. Especially if you're watching on YouTube. Because it's no fun watching this way, right? And even if I turn it around, that's like all the screen space it's giving me. It's just that for some reason. And I think it's because of my phone. So that was that the question, babe?
No question.
Okay. I'm so sad. Okay. So this is my tray and we painted this together. It's just white because I thought that would look really fresh with this, right? And so I'm going to put everything inside of here upside down. And I'm putting the glass first and then our cardboard that we decoupage with the typography is going underneath or over that. And if you missed the live where we did this, don't worry because I'm going to take this and edit it. Although, you know what? This is going to be horrible because it's not going to be right. It's fine. I keep telling myself I'm not going to whine about it, and then I start whining about it. I don't think this one's going to fit. I think I cut this one to replace. This is what was underneath there initially. And so I'm going to go ahead and attach this. And then I'll probably have George make me a board cut to size. And I'll put some kind of fabric underneath it. Maybe, I think the idea of fabric on a tray is like not good, but we'll see what happens. So I'm going to put you guys a little bit closer so you can see what this thing does though. I want to do that. And then we'll move back down. I mean, we'll move back up in a little.
Just let everybody know I put hashtag retreat in the comments on Facebook.
Oh,
It
yeah.
only works on Facebook.
Yes.
Did you send me a link for YouTube?
I do have a QR code for YouTube.
Oh, okay.
So if you guys are interested in the retreat, you can use the QR code here on YouTube. And using this QR code or clicking the link doesn't commit you to anything. You can just go and get information if you guys are interested in coming is all. Oh, man, what did I do?
But if you're on Facebook and you type in hashtag retreat, you'll get a message that'll give you a link.
That'll give you a link so you can have more
Yeah.
information.
Karen Moyer asks, is the tool for glazing points?
Yes, this is actually, yes, that's exactly what it is. So this is for glazing points, and you get this, and I got a bunch of extra. So you guys know how when you buy photographs, you see these little points that are in there, right? I've always wondered how they were able to get them in there. Well, this little thing, which I don't know the name of it, I did put a link to my Amazon shop on my Facebook page tonight because I knew you guys were going to ask me that. And so I'm going to use this. It's super simple. It's kind of like a stapler, but it's not. And I'm going to point it to the edge of this. I don't know if I have enough room. And basically here, I'm going to show you. I'm going to pull up the lever. And it shoots that piece of metal in there. So that's what's going to hold everything together. So you guys know how when we buy old frames, we're like bending these and then we're trying to save them and then trying to figure out when we're putting our frame back together with new art, how it's going to stay in there. Well, we can just use this little doodad and it takes care of that. So I thought you guys are probably, somebody's advised that I needed one of these in a live where we did this tray. And so I listened. I'm going to look on the front side real quick just to make sure everything is lined up before I get all my points on there. And I think I'm good. But it's super easy. My hands are not the greatest. So if you're someone who deals with maybe arthritis or something like that, it's not super hard. You do have to squeeze it though. But I'm able to do it. So that's a pretty good sign. Because we have a lot of humidity today, so my hands are not particularly happy right now.
And Mara, of course, said, what's it called? It's called Look in Royce's Amazon shop.
You know what, Mara? And the funny thing is I looked at it before we came on so that I could remember that, and I still forgot. Maybe it's a glazing point driver or something like that. I forgot. I'm sorry. Can one of you guys, oh, you guys don't want to come off the live either, huh? If somebody's watching on YouTube, can you look on Facebook real quick and see? Because it's the last thing that I put in my shop.
Facebook.
Well, if they're watching on their TV on YouTube and they can look. Yeah, I put my Amazon shop on Facebook. And the last thing I loaded into my shop was this thing. If you go to Royce Cycle Treasures Facebook page, yes, there's a post just before the live. And who was the one that suggested I buy this? I forgot.
It is called an Anrain, ANRAIN,
That's the
point driver.
So it's a point driver. That's what it's called.
For picture framing.
Yes.
Anrain point driver for picture framing.
And that's it. Mira. Whoops. And it's done. How easy was that? Now I'm going to put a board over this you know, just so it'll be finished. I think I might put feet on here too. What do you guys think? Feet or no feet? And that'll push that middle part down. But I don't know if you guys remember what this looked like before, but it was really dark and it had some really, I'm not going to say a bad name. The needle point itself wasn't bad, but you know, it had just been used for a really long time. So it looked kind of cruddy. So we cleaned it up and we primed it and we painted the frame, which was a dark wood. And then we reverse decoupaged the glass and we put the topography underneath. And I wanted to keep these handles. I believe they were brass. So I wanted to keep the original handles on here. Let's uncover these. So we just covered them up so I wouldn't get paint on them. And so see, you guys helped me finish a project. So now I'll edit this video and get it uploaded. Even though this portion is going to be vertical, I'm not happy about that.
Rima is here.
Hey, Rima.
We were watching her live earlier.
Yes. I'm glad you made it home
feet,
safely.
please. Everybody is saying feet.
Yeah, right? Feet would be really cute. So I'm going to put a piece of wood on the bottom first, and then I'll apply some feet. And I might even decoupage the bottom. It depends on how, like, I don't know. We'll see.
Dreaming Cat Studios asks, how do you remove the points?
I'm assuming you'll have to pull them out with some needle nose pliers or something. You know how when you upcycle an old frame, it's literally what's already in there. So you can bend them. Like usually what we do, right, is we just bend them back to take whatever out. So if you wanted to remove this, you could bend these, I'm assuming just like you would do if we were upcycling a frame, and then bend them back down or bend them up and then pull them out with a needle nose plier.
Lisa K. Strong says, I have one of those. They are so helpful. Those come in a flexible option too, just in case you want to replace your artwork with something new.
Oh, so all of them aren't flexible? Look. I just made an assumption, Lisa. Where are my fussy cutting scissors? I was going to take this off so we could see it with the handles, but you know what I do have is I have these, which I'm going to need for our next project. So this was one project. We essentially finished it, but it wasn't assembled and fully done. So we finished this one together. I love reverse decoupage. Sometimes I'll get questions about like a glass side table. Those are perfect for reverse decoupage because if you decoupage your image face down on the glass, like you never have to worry about anything happening to your paper, right? Because people are only going to come in contact with the glass. And one thing to think about is because this paper is so transparent, I have the option of leaving it transparent, right? Or if I wanted it to be opaque, I would have painted the back of the decoupage paper in order for my image to be more opaque and for us not to be able to see through to the other side. So if you're working on a table, you probably want it to be more opaque and you'll want to paint the back of your decoupage paper, generally white, but it can be other colors too. Just depends on the look you're going for.
Kathleen Hoover says, good scissors on tape.
Oh, these are not the good scissors, girl. These are the pitiful scissors. The tip is like, doesn't even come together. I was looking for my fussy cutting scissors because the tip is really sharp and they would have been perfect, but they're probably right here looking at me, laughing at me, I'm sure. Oh, I see them. And I was talking about my hands. These are fussy cutting scissors. The wide loop on top makes it so much easier than using regular scissors because I'm using my whole hand and I don't have to have the same dexterity that I need to use regular scissors. So even though these are for fussy cutting, I find myself using them for other stuff too, especially on a day like today. The barometric pressure does things to my body that I don't like.
The other night, my knee cracked so loud, I thought David was going to jump off the couch. He's like, "What was that?" It was me.
I should have said this earlier, but if you all wouldn't mind sharing, and if you're on Facebook, put in a comment, whatever you want, and an emoji. What emoji shall I use today? All right, this one is for our in-law, Kathy. I'm throwing in a happy birthday.
The happy birthday, the little party emoji?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You guys know the little party emoji. That would be a fun one.
Yeah. So, but we would appreciate and share, comment, hit an emoji. If you're on the YouTubes, hit the heart button. We'd appreciate it if you subscribe.
Yeah.
And if you hit the bell, you can customize your notifications. I'm a no notification guy, with the exception of Best of the Worst, which I made Royce watch yesterday or today, I forget which, and this. So you can customize which ones you want notifications on.
Yeah. Look at you guys. I made a decision to leave this dark wood on here. And maybe that wasn't the best decision now that we're looking at it, right? What do you guys think? Should I paint that dark candle or should I leave it? And I'm just going to do one of these because I'll do the other one off camera. We don't want to spend all day peeling tape. That's worse than watching paint dry. I honestly just wanted to see it all together.
So I had done hashtag retreat earlier just to kind of get it out there so if anybody sees it. Just to let everybody know, the retreat is next year, April 23rd through the 26th.
Yeah, we just opened it to the public on July 1.
Yeah, everybody now can go in and purchase a seat. Payment plans are available.
Yeah, there's one payment plan available.
Oh, payment plan.
Yes.
Excuse me. But it's still at the early bird pricing.
Yes.
So.
Because we just opened sales to everyone on July 1st. And so we're going to keep the early bird pricing open for a little while longer. What do you guys think? I need to paint that, don't I? But I'm going to have to prep that before I paint. So I won't do that today. But I think that came out super cute. I like it a lot. So that's the tray that we made. So we finished one project. Oh, Lord, I got to find somewhere to put this glass.
April Meeker says paint it.
Yeah, I think so too, April. This was another project that we did together a while ago. And you guys know that whenever you decoupage, I always suggest waiting until your paper is absolutely completely dry before you try to trim. So we didn't trim during the live, and this poor lunch pail has been waiting for me to get back to it. So we're gonna trim it together tonight. And then it looks like I got paint up here. I'll have to make a design decision. I think I'm gonna have to use alcohol and see if I can get that off, but that's primer, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. But maybe I should just match this green and just paint it, huh? We'll see. Let's get it trimmed though. So first thing when you're trimming your decoupage paper, make sure that your paper is absolutely dry. If you try to trim it when your paper has moisture, it's gonna tear and it's not gonna be clean. Of course, we used a sanding block around the edges, but when you're wrapping around pieces like these, or when you're coming up against the edge like this, a sanding block doesn't work. So I'm going to be using my X-Acto knife to trim these. And the second thing is you want your blade on your whatever kind of razor that you're using to be super sharp, right? Because we want to cut the paper clean. You don't want to tear it. And I never try to trim facing down this way. I feel like I'm more apt to do something warbly. So I like to use whatever is there that I'm cutting around to guide my blade so that my trim is accurate. So I'm going to lay my blade sideways, and as opposed to putting it down and guessing where I need to trim. And I'm gonna have to go in to reattach these areas that are wrapping around this. But before I add any moisture, I wanna make sure that all my trims in this area are done. And if anybody has any questions, babe, let me know. Okay. And if you guys have any general crafting questions, you can bring them to our Sunday Night Lives and I will try my darndest to answer them. I don't know all the things, but I've done a lot of experiments here in my laboratory. Ooh, oh, 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 oh. I wasn't sure if we'd have anybody tonight. I figured everybody would be like traveling or something. Oh, the brown. Yeah. So that one is trimmed like pretty perfectly, right? I made a mistake by painting that. We'll have to resolve that together. We'll circle back. But you'll notice that I still need to lay these down, but I don't want to, when I'm working like this, I wouldn't add any more decoupage medium until after I was completely done trimming, and then I can go back. So I'll come back around and we'll tack those pieces back down. And there's the pieces around my edges too that aren't quite laid down. So we'll retack those and we'll seal this again, right? And so these, we have these locks and I'm gonna have to kind of feel my way around them. I'm gonna use my nails to kind of outline them just so I can see where I should be cutting. Because these are kind of swirly. And when we were decoupaging, you guys see these slits in here? I put those in there when we were decoupaging so my paper would lay down flat. And now we can just trim that off and I don't have to worry about, and you guys see what I did there? I primed that too. I should have left that green. So I have to make some decisions about how I'm gonna deal with that too. What is it saying? Hindsight is 20/20, 30/30, 40/40, 50/50.
Dorothy Lage, will you refresh our memory on how you made the burlap rose tissue transparent on the tray? And Kathleen Hoover says, how are your art classes going?
You know what, Dorothy? Dorothy, did you take my decoupage with confidence course? Because we did a whole section. You may not have taken that part yet, but we did an entire section where we kind of, let me put it this way now. We did different treatments to play with, like ways that you can get different levels of transparency on your decoupage paper. And so this is super fun because sometimes you're fine with this, but sometimes you want something that's closer to this, right? And you guys see my fancy board, but I wanted to do it over black so we'd see what it looked like over black. And then these are just marks so you could see how well you could see through the paper for each application. But if you spritz your paper first and then you decoupage, use your medium, then you'll get the most transparency. And we found that gloss medium increases the transparency as well. But I thought that was a fun experiment. I don't know, do we have anybody here who took the class who's made it to that module? I feel like a lot of people haven't completed the other 3 modules because they got all their questions answered in the first module.
Just Yolanda C, would a fine grit sandpaper help with the trimming?
For around these areas, Yolanda, it would be really hard because I'm having to cut around these little bits. And I found that this is the best way to do it. You can try that, but I would hate to like sand my paper. I mean, it wouldn't be awful, but you might sand some of the artwork off. And I may need to put a new blade in here. I'm not following my own advice, you guys. And you guys see my old school X-Acto knives. I found them at the thrift store. This is back in the day before we had the fancy rubber handles. I'm gonna put a new blade in here. Although I don't think I have any fat blades. I only have skinty ones. Maybe, maybe not. Okay. That blade isn't loosening up. I wonder if it's... Let's try this one. I think this one might be sharper.
Chris Schmidt said, finished all modules. Your experiments are always very interesting and enlightening.
Thank you. Of course, Chris Schmidt is never going to say anything bad. I appreciate you, Chris. I'm just messing with you. I know she's laughing. I want to see what you do with those bottles. Yeah, this one's sharper. And then if there's an area where I trimmed, like you guys can see here, I got a little white on the green right here. And right here, for some reason, I think maybe my paper wasn't attached. And I have a little bit showing right here. I'll show you guys up close. See that? Just a little bit. But I can just match the paint color and just dab that right there. No one will ever know. And I have an entire segment that's like dedicated to matching your paint colors. And the reason why I did that was because if you can match the color of your paper, it solves like 85% of the challenge of blending your paper. Or like here, right? I can just, if I can match this background color, I can just paint that all the way across there and be done. I'm not sure I'm going to do that, but I could. Oh, it's me. I keep pulling. So what's happening is the paper isn't completely tacked down right there. And so when I'm cutting it, I'm pulling it and it's tearing. But we'll match this paint color and we'll doctor that up really quickly. And no one will know.
Kathleen Hoover said, I thought tonight was fall decor, or did I read that wrong?
Did I say fall decor? I think I have a couple of events set up. I think we did one at the beginning of the month that may have said fall decor. I'm sorry, Kathleen. We'll do some fall decor though, I promise. I have one piece that we need to finish and we'll just use some fall colors on there. Because it is time, isn't it?
And Flea says that Chris Schmidt is a very nice person. And she said it depends on who I'm talking about. Look.
I have never heard Chris Schmidt say a bad word about anybody.
There's some people that you just never expect them to like be angry or yell or anything. Mm-hmm. Now, that was not my mother. I want to stress this. She was angry and yelled. But
was it your fault?
Oh, always. Okay. It was always my fault, completely, and justifiably so. But she had a limit on the language.
You had a limit on the language?
Well, there were some bad words that were used in the house by her.
Oh, okay.
The first time she used one, that I think we all know?
I don't know.
Maybe think of a fire truck.
Oh, okay.
The first time she used that, it was like she hit me.
You're like, what the what?
I took a step back. So I understand what you're saying. Chris is always nice. And then I want to be there on the time when she loses it on somebody.
You want to be there?
Heck yeah, I want to see it.
So now I have all these little tags or little areas where it wasn't adhered well. So I'm going to go in with my clear coat and just tack those down. And I'm good to go, right? So when I'm decoupaging, I always make sure that the middle, right, it's going to have enough product and it's going to adhere well, because I know I can always go around the edges and reapply product if I need to.
April Meeker asks, what paper is that?
This is Industrial Masterboard, April. It's one of my favorites, although Flea's going to laugh at me because I say that all the time. But it is. It's one of my favorites.
Oh, Karen Moyer said a reel this week was fall leaves and decoupage. So maybe,
yes.
Yeah.
I did a couple of fall, the basket too, and I know that leaf video always gets me in trouble because I got those leaves at Hobby Lobby, and I guess they don't have them anymore. Maybe they'll have them this fall, you guys. Maybe after so many of you guys go in there asking for them, they'll bring them back. Although April said she has some in her stash. Okay, so see, I can go in there and just retack anything that's not laid down, and my customer will never know, right? That little piece is being stubborn. I may need to pull out my gel. But this sheet is fun. It has like a lot of topography on it, ferns. Do I have a piece over here? I don't think I do. I have every other paper, but not that one. And you guys know that the Royce Cycle decoupage papers are 29 inches by 21 inches. So it's a big sheet. And the master boards like these are nice because you can use them on multiple projects, or you could use them on a piece of furniture if you want. Just making sure all my stuff is tacked down. I even have these little flaps back here.
This is the message I received. Let's catch up and start creating for the fall.
Oh.
I know, you may not be ready yet, but maybe I'll inspire you with cool ideas when you are ready.
I'm sorry, Kathleen. We'll do fall on the next video, okay? See, what had happened was...
I had my mic turned off for the whole thing. Sorry about that.
Oh. What had happened was oh, that was the email. Was that the email, Kathleen? I've been trying to be good and plan ahead, you know. So I may have to take better notes about what I'm going to do or what I'm doing. So I'm going to go ahead and put another layer of clear coat over the top of this. And this is just a water-based clear coat that I'm using. It's probably Wise Owl varnish, but you can use whatever you have on your desk to seal your projects. And we're going to dry this. You guys want to move on to the next project, or would you guys like to do a color match and see how I address these white areas on here? You guys tell me. And this was the color that was on this little lunch pail. I didn't paint that, but I thought that finish was fabulous. And I've already sprayed this with some Krylon. Usually when I get my metal pieces, I'll spray them with this Rust-Oleum clear just to seal back anything and to keep things from continuing to rust. And if I were going to use a transfer over this, I would put like 2 layers of my water-based sealer on top of that and let that cure for a couple of days before I apply my transfers. That way I can still get the added protection for the metal, but not impact my transfers. Because if you put the transfer directly on this, the solvents that are in here may eventually impact your transfers, and they'll start cracking and or popping off the surface. So does people want to hear? They want to. I know they're tired of me mixing colors. I feel like they are. So that's why I'm taking a vote. If you guys want to see me match or attempt to match the color on that.
All right. So Vicky Valdez Green says, "What is the next project?" But let's see. Madonna Frazee Rap says color match. Chris Schmidt says color match. Aracelia Escobar. I hope I pronounced that right.
I know. I've been
says
seeing
color
your
match.
frames. Is it Aracelia? I looked at it today and I pronounced it. Aracelia?
I'm not sure. We have an Araceli over at the library. So, and then Flea says finish this one.
Okay.
And
she's been doing frame. Well, she's been doing projects with the recycled stencils and texture, my 2 favorites, and they're fabulous. But what are you gonna say?
is hashtag Insider still working?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, speaking of insiders, you guys, we are gonna have a launch coming up soon with the new designs, and the recycled insiders always get first look at the designs before they're launched out to the public. So if you are not already a recycled insider, you'll want to be. If you are on the YouTubes, I'm so sorry. Well, let me think. I'll put something in the description on YouTube, or you can go to an old video and you'll see a link on there. But if you are on Facebook, you can put hashtag insider and you'll get a message with information showing how to join the insiders group. But we send out a weekly email. I had somebody report me. Anyways, Aracelis. Okay. I love your texture projects. They are so fabulous. We generally send out weekly emails unless there's like something going on. And in each email, I don't know, there's different things. Sometimes there's encouragement. Once a month, we do send out like a resource. This last month, we sent out a PDF with ways for you to get a clean stencil. And I want to say, what are we doing for July? I believe July is going to be talking about 5 different mediums that you can use in your work. I find that I've been using a lot of different mediums in my work, and I don't spend a lot of time kind of talking about them. And so the one for July is kind of a guide on the different acrylic mediums and how you can use them. But every month there'll be something, and it's different every month. So you'll get a resource every month, and you're always the first to see the new designs when they're launched. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's kind of cool being an insider, but if you would like to be a recycled insider, you can put hashtag insider on Facebook and you'll receive a message showing you how to join.
Some people are getting them, some people are not. They say they are insiders. I believe them. I've noticed with my work emails, sometimes I get stuff, sometimes I don't.
So look in your like promotions email or because I know that, so Apple is like pre-screening emails. It's really weird. So if you add Royce at roycycle.com to your address book, you're more likely to get the emails because it'll read that like you know me and you know the email. And if you're not receiving them, look inside of your promotions and or junk email. And if you have not been receiving them and you haven't opened them, I may have removed you. So join again. Because I went through a couple of months ago and I looked, and anybody who hasn't opened an email, I closed them. Because I get charged per person, not per person, but they charge me more the more people I have on my email list. And so, and if somebody's on my list, it doesn't want to be there too. So I just removed anyone who hasn't been opening the email. So If you signed up and you haven't been receiving the emails, if you sign up again, you won't receive double, right? It'll just know that you signed up again. So if you want to sign up again, just put hashtag insider and sign up again. And then if you'll add Royce at roycecycle.com to your address book, you're more likely to get the emails. Because I've been working really hard on them. I think they're really valuable, especially the permission slips. And the permission slips, they're in the email, but you can also like download them and print them out if you want. So if you get one that speaks to you, like especially, you can download it and print it out and hang it somewhere. Okay, so let's mix colors. Oh Lord, why did I sign myself up for this? Because I don't even have all my colors out here. We know I'm gonna need yellow, right? So we're gonna need yellow, and then I don't even have my. What is the opposite of yellow? It's purple, huh? So do I even have? I mean, not opposite. The complement yellow is purple. Ooh, I have a buff. That's gonna make it a little bit easier, actually.
Lisa Vansell says, I used to get a text when you went Sunday live.
Yeah, Lisa, I got rid of that app. It was costing me a lot of money to send one text a week. I mean, it was like $69 a month for that. I don't know. It was something crazy. These apps, they start off with like a decent price, and then once they think they have you hooked, they like crank up the price. Google did that to me. Shameful. So this is titanium buff, or you can just get a buff. Let me see, what is it in this one? Oh, titanium buff, and it's a warm white. So you guys can see, like, this is a bright white. I hope you guys can see the difference. And then on here, this is like a warm white. So if you're trying to match a warmer color, a buff can be nice because it gets you there easier. So I'm going to use this color because it's already warm, and it's going to help me get to this color right here a lot easier. I do not have a violet here, so I may have to cheat and try to use magenta, or I'll just make a violet. That's what we'll do. I'll make it with blue and magenta if I need it. Let's add a little yellow to this and see what happens. One of the things I tell you guys to do that I never do, but you should not use your brush when you're mixing your colors, because what happens is you get extra paint up here and it impacts your color when you're trying to mix it or when you're trying to apply it. But it's habit. I'm sorry. And I'm not going to need a ton of paint. You guys see how I'm using so little yellow when I'm mixing this? And I can put it up against there. And even though my eye told me it was close, I'll go closer. Even though my eye says that's closer, I think I can do better.
I'm going to nag you a little bit and say, please talk up.
Okay, I'll talk up.
Because a few people are saying you're fading a little bit.
Okay.
And Dorothy Lage says, I have an app. It's called Add You to My Calendar.
Oh. How does that work, Dorothy? Tell us more. Does that ensure you get emails from the people that you want to get them from? And I send an email weekly. So weekly on Tuesdays generally. So if you're not getting the emails, try looking for Royce at Royce Cycled on Tuesday. Because I think if you open the emails, you're more likely to get them as well. Right? Man, I just picked up more yellow and I didn't mean to. So now I'm going to start all over again. So one of the things that we did inside of the Royce Cycled decopage with confidence course is we use plastic. So, and I think this is something that we used in the color mixing course too. And this is pretty close, right, to that. I can sit it right on top of there. And I also know that this color is going to get darker as it dries. So I'm going to dry this and see just how close I am. So I always like to start with a color that's close to the color that I'm trying to mix. And then I can use the information that I know about color theory to kind of shift my colors to get what I want. And I know you guys are tired of me talking about color, but I promise If you can master mixing your own colors, it opens up so much for you. I don't know how many of you guys listened to the to the podcast interview with Sonnet and I on her page, but there were a lot of times she was giving me the side eye, and one of them was, that's pretty close. And you know what it is? It feels like it's too bright, right? Like it's the right shade, but it's too bright. So if I want to neutralize this, I'm going to have to use its complement. So I'm going to mix up um, some like violets, and I'm going to be super careful because I need hardly any, and see if I can neutralize that. So it's too bright. I think it just needs to be dulled down a bit. Oh man, I got magenta inside of my blue. We don't want that. And so if you do not want to sign up for the whole like decoupage with confidence course in order to get the information that I'm giving here on color mixing, I do have a course, crafting in color, which goes over color theory and how you can use it in your everyday crafting. For some reason, when I say color theory, people like decide that they don't need that. But if you're working with color, you want to know how color works, and it's not always the way that we think it works. And I'm mixing very little because I'm not going to need a ton of this. So I just mixed up some violet there, or some purple, and I'm going to mix like just a little teeny tiny bit of it into my mixture so I can dull it down some. I feel like the color match is perfect, but it's just too bright, too chromatic.
Oh, Dorothy said she just puts an appointment in her calendar. She just adds you to her calendar as an appointment every 2 weeks. It's what I do for city council meetings.
And so then you get the email?
You could set it up. If you've got Google Calendar, you can set it up to get an email.
Huh.
I do mine just as a notification.
Yeah.
But I do emails for people appearing on my show.
So generally speaking, what I do is I send the emails out on Tuesdays at 10 a.m. my time. So unless, there are times when I'll like make a change last minute or something when it may be different, but that's generally when the emails go out.
Karen Moyer says Nova color paints are having a sale right now. Buy one, get one half off. Those are the ones used at the retreat.
Yes, that is the one I used at the retreat. You know what? I did not need paint for a long time, Karen. I bought so much paint, and it was way more than I needed.
Others may.
This is true.
So good for Karen sharing.
Oh, yeah. Good job, Karen. This side is a little bit darker, right? And yellow is a weird color. If you add black to it, you're not going to get a darker yellow. You're going to get like some weird green color. So you want to add its complement, which is the purple or violet, to make it darker. I feel like I want to decoupage that top edge. That would be easier. Because I've got this color, like a yellow color, this color, like it changes, the paper changes colors every time it turns around. And I don't know if I want to be bothered with that. Or should I just paint it? What do you guys think? Oh, criminies, that was too much yellow.
Kathleen Hoovis, if you decoupage the edge, will it hold up to opening and closing?
You know what? That's a good question, Kathleen. It's a question I'm asking myself. And I wonder if that's why I decided not to do that. This project was so long ago, I honestly don't remember. Oh, that's a good color. Let me wash this. Oh man, I didn't bring any water out here. One of these days, I'm going to show up to teach a class or to come live, and I'm not going to forget anything. Someday.
Dorothy Lage, can I go back into my Academy desktop and rewatch the color workshop from the library? I was VIP, but I think it only lasted 1 year.
I think it was a year, but I think, are we still within that year, Dorothy? Was it a year ago that I taught that class? I think you're still within your year, Dorothy. I would log in and see, because I want to say it was about this time last year that I taught that class. And I know what's happened, Dorothy. You probably weren't ready to hear all that information last year, but I see you. You've been working a lot more with your art. I'm on the struggle bus over here because my blue is cooling it down too much. And making it more peachy. So I'm needing to add some more yellow. I'm just going to paint it, and we're going to make it as close as possible and call it a day. That's not too bad, right? It's close to the same color.
Just me, or did it get hotter in here?
It felt like it got hotter.
Yes.
But it gets hot later here.
I know.
It's like the heat build. And you know what it is, too? We have atmosphere today. So, usually the temperature dissipates pretty quickly in the desert because usually there's nothing holding it down. But we have a lot of cloud coverage. Or we did. It's gone now. Well, as far as I can see. Somebody messaged me and she said she wasn't ready to mix colors. I promise you guys, just do it. And the more you do it, the easier it becomes. And don't get frustrated when you don't do it right away, because you guys can see, there are some guys on social media that do it the first time, but I'm not those guys.
Flea, would glazing over the paint and the paper help?
Yes, Flea. If I wanted to unify these more, I could make a glaze and go over everything, and that would help to unify the colors.
And Dorothy said, you're right, I'm ready to go crazy with theory.
I see you, Dorothy. I feel like there are a lot of people, I have some people who started out with me a long time ago, right? And I think that they're ready to move. They're ready for the kind of the next thing in their creativity, right? And so I see Dorothy. I see you, girl. Should I do a glaze? And so, but it's not going to be the same anyway. It's just because there's no variation in this. It's all one color. versus these that has a lot of variation in it. So I think that's good. And I think I'm going to go ahead and just do that too. I'm taking the easy way out. I'm taking the short way home. I don't know why that song came on my mind when I say that. Take the long way home. I know. I'm taking the short way though. I know that song came in my head, but then I figured my way was actually the short way, not the long way. But yes, if you're working on matching a color and you have it almost there and it's not quite right, you can make a transparent wash or glaze and go over the top of everything and it'll unify your colors more for you. Okay, so I think we are done with that one. What do you guys think? I feel like I should put some green around that lid, but I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna leave it for now. So this one is done. What time is it, babe?
6:09.
Did anybody have any questions about this project before I put her away? Her, him, them.
Kathleen Hoovis, I want to see the finger painted black to extend on the lip. LOL.
You want to see the what? Oh, the finger painted black. Oh, this one. I know I could, huh?
Well, let's see. Rhonda Cook, I got the ice cream can from Whatnot today. Love it. So cool to see your work up close.
Oh, thank you. And thank you guys so much for joining us on Whatnot. I know we hadn't been on in a while. Flea was harassing me, you guys. So thank Flea. No, I'm just kidding. She was asking me every week, when are you guys going to be on Whatnot? When are you guys going to be on Whatnot? I don't know. When the ladies came down for the retreat, they bought all my good stuff. So I got to find more good stuff. We're going to be in Tucson this month. So hopefully I'll get to go picking. And I have my guys too. So I'll be seeing what they have. I have pickers in Tucson. If I know I'm going and they have good stuff, I can buy it. And then pick it up when we go. So that was that project. I did have one more. What did I do with it? I brought it in. Oh, here it is. Were there any more questions, babe? Are you sure? Oh, Lisa, you joined Whatnot? Oh my gosh, it is dangerous, isn't it? She said, girl, I would be covered in paint. Oh my gosh, I'm flipping for girls. You guys need to follow her. She does. She's working on her back patio right now. It's coming along fabulously. But let me tell you, girl, I was nervous today watching you get up on that ladder to put that square panel up. You had me over here holding my breath. I'm sorry, what'd you say, babe?
I just haven't got any comments on YouTube for a long time.
Oh, I know. I don't see anything from YouTube either.
So just want to make sure people are there.
Lisa Vansell, did you empty your storage sheds?
Girl, no. That is a whole nother conversation, Lisa. Why are you bringing up stuff?
And Flea said it's true. We even watched while doing a rehearsal dinner.
Did you watch during the dinner, Flea? Oh my gosh. I figured you were just gone.
Dorothy Lays, your people on Whatnot are ruthless in bidding.
They are.
Last time I did one, there was like a semi-fight. So my world is different from yours. So yours is people who want things, they bid on it like an auction.
Yeah.
They're normal. Your people are normal.
I'm trying to figure out the best way to put this on.
My people, they'll either buy it right away or they'll do, and I'm as guilty of this as anybody, wait to see if it doesn't sell, then come in and negotiate. And I'm fine with negotiation. Well, somebody did that, and then somebody came in and sniped them with a bid. And boy, if those two had been in the room, there'd have been a brawl.
There would have been.
They were mad.
Like, negotiate your own deals.
Yeah. And then one other guy's like, it's an auction.
Like, dude.
So, yes, the collectibles have there's a
rule of conduct?
Yes. It's very much like the live action role play guys. We do certain things, and that's the way it is.
I see. I do not even know if you guys remember this project. Yes, Flea, I can see your comment. Thank you. Thank you, Flea. She hopped on YouTube to make sure we could see the comment. So maybe there just aren't any comments on YouTube. So this piece we started, actually, you know what? This is how long ago? It's probably been about a year because this piece we started right after the crafting in color course. Because I wanted to highlight how using color, you guys, we're creating with color. So understanding how it works is super important. And there are some things about color that aren't intuitive. Like it's not the way that you think it is. So this is an IOD inlay. I just inlaid this into some chalk paint and we did that together. And then we started painting and then I ran out of time. So the way that I like to prep these if I'm going to paint them is I'll do the inlay and I'll seal it and then I'll go over it with a clear gesso. And the clear gesso, you don't have to do that step, but it does help your paint lay down like a lot better than it would without it. So I really like using the clear gesso. So just like my paintable decoupage papers, which we've been doing, you guys have seen me use 50 million times because I love them. This is the same way. All of the information that we need to give this volume is already here. We have shadows that are right here. We have some like lighter shadows in other places where midtones would be. And then places where there isn't anything, which is where there would be a highlight. And the beautiful thing about this is the easiest way to paint these is to use transparent paint. And transparent paint doesn't have to be watercolor. It can be any paint that you can make transparent. So this is an ochre yellow. Since we're talking about fall, this one's pink. It's okay. We're experimenting. This doesn't have to be a final project. Although maybe I'll just make that purple and it'll work. So I'm going to take this transparent ochre and I'm going to make my point with this flower right here. Because this is a transparent color, it means that we can see through it. So when I paint it on here, you're going to be able to see through this color to see what's going on underneath. And so all of the benefits of having this extra information is going to still be there, even though I painted this. And so this is fun. You can definitely do it on the paintable recycled decoupage papers, but this is something that you can use with your inlays as well. They don't have to stay black and white. And so I'm going to use, this is just my clear top coat that I use to decoupage with. I'm going to mix a little bit of that with my paint because I want it to be like really transparent. And so this is the easiest way to paint these is just to use transparent color. And I like to brush in the direction of the flowers, but I guess you technically really don't have to. You can just lay the color down any old kind of way, but in my brain, this is how I need to do it. So, because when you're using opaque paints, it matters. Or paints that you can't see through. So it's just become a standard practice for me. And so these are beautiful black and white, but you can absolutely paint them because all the information that you need is already there. And when I say the information you need, I'm talking about like the shading, because that's what gives it form. Whenever something is dark, visually it recedes. And whenever it's light, it pops out this way. And that's what gives things form is that light and shadow. And all that information is already here. So all we're doing is bringing in the color. And the masters used to actually, well, not all of them, but a lot of them, they would paint a portrait or something using a grayscale, and then they would go over it with glazes to actually introduce color. And don't ask me which master, because I don't know that much. I should, but I don't. And so you guys can see how I have this yellow flower, right? But you can still see all of that shading underneath it. And so it still maintains its form. And so this is a really easy way that you guys can play with your paints. And one of the things that I talked about in our membership, because I did a color class inside the membership. And people said I was too much. But one of the things we talk about in that color class is value shapes and how they give things form. Because really, that's what gives things form, are the lights and the shadows and how you use them. So that's one flower. And then this magenta is also transparent. So I'll use this one. Let's do this rose over here. And if anyone has any questions, I will be happy to answer them. I don't have my water. I'm fired.
Flea says, I love this one. I painted it with watercolor pens.
Ooh, yeah.
Everybody's asking, can you come in a little closer?
I can. Get a little closer. Wait. I think so. Yeah, there we go. And you guys, okay. I am literally, you guys, just going in and laying this right over the top. And because it's transparent, it literally doesn't matter. Like, and this magenta that I'm using is another transparent color. And the reason how you know, if you spread the color out and you can see through it, then it's transparent. So you see when I spread this out, you can easily see through it. You can see the white underneath. So this is a transparent color. And then I have a little bit of my clear coat left on my mat, and I'm just adding that just to make it even more transparent, to make sure that I'm able to see through to the flower on the bottom.
Julie Brawley asks, does it say transparent on the paint bottle?
So if you are using your chalk or clay-based paint, they're probably likely not going to be transparent. But if you're using acrylic paints, there is a standard practice in acrylic paints. If you see a square like this one and it's full black, that means it's opaque. So you're not going to be able to see through that color. If you see one, and let me see if I have any transparent ones here. I think this blue that I had was transparent. Okay, so if you see a square like this one, you see how it's half black and half open? That means it's semi-transparent. And then golden will also have like a swatch of paint over a pattern, so you can just see how transparent it is. But this color is semi-transparent because you see how it's half and half. And if this box is all white, then that means it's a transparent color. I'm trying to see if I have something transparent. Oh, so whoops. This white is a transparent white. See how that box is empty? It's a transparent white. So I have two different whites here. I have an opaque white that you cannot see through, and I also have a transparent white that you can see through.
And Rhonda Cook says, how do we get into the membership or take decoupage with confidence classes?
So if you want to get into the membership, you can just put hashtag besties. And if you're on Facebook, is she on Facebook or YouTube? Okay, put hashtag besties in the comments and you'll get a message showing you how to get into the membership. And then the decoupage with confidence course, we just wrapped it up for the live session. And so if you want to take it, it'll be available in probably a couple of weeks because we'll want to go through and reset everything. But the most of the class this time was pre-recorded, and my peeps said they liked it that way. So you won't be missing a whole lot. Just people in the membership and those who signed up for VIP had the option to join live sessions. But the curriculum will be all the same as it was for everyone else.
And Kathleen Hoovis, can I add top coat to make paint translucent?
You can add top coat. It'll make it more transparent, but it won't be as transparent because the pigments aren't transparent. You know what I mean? So it'll be more transparent. So absolutely, you can dilute it and that'll make it more transparent and that'll probably work. So if you're wanting to experiment and you don't want to buy more stuff, you can either, dilute it with your clear coat and that'll make it more transparent, but it won't be the same as when you're using transparent colors. And you can use watercolor too, but you don't have to.
So right now we have 3 hashtags on Facebook that will help you. The first one is Insider. That gets you the emails.
Yes.
Second one is Besties, Besties. That's information about the membership. And then the third one is Retreat, Retreat, information about the 2026 retreat next April.
Yeah, and we already have, what did we say, 20. So there's 55 seats available. Last year I had 60 seats and we had 53 people sign up, and we could have used more seating the way we had it set up. So we actually dropped down to 55 seats this year because I want to make sure everyone's going to be comfortable. So we're going to set the space up a little bit different. We'll have fewer people at each table. So there's only going to be enough space for 55 people, and we've already sold
22%, I think is what you said.
Tickets, yeah. And so because we did a launch to those who were on the wait list first. But I don't know if anybody's on and they went to the retreat. You guys can listen to me talk about my own retreat, but of course I'm going to say it's fabulous. I do think it was fabulous. But there's some improvements I want to make and that we will be making. But I think that it was a good retreat. But I know I've heard some of the names of the people here, so I know that they were there. And so I'm going to show you guys this flower right here. And you guys can see I just did a transparent coat of that magenta and all of the shading, and you can still see it clearly, but now it has color. And so I can paint this entire thing with transparent colors, and it'll be fabulous. And I'm going to have to do something. I'm going to go over that a little bit with this. I'm going to do a super transparent coat of this ochre yellow to try to see if I can marry these colors a little bit. Oh yeah, that's going to work. Okay.
Olga Zork, doing a project now with the printable paper using watered down chalk paint, works great. Was hesitant to use that paper, but having so much fun with it.
Isn't it fun, Olga?
And April says, did I ask this question already? If you have opaque paint, isn't there a way to make it transparent?
Yeah, that's what Olga is saying, that she just added some clear coat to her paints to make it transparent. And she says it works beautifully.
And April said, retreat was amazing, empowering experience, highly recommend it.
Thank you, April. And April signed up and drove down on Thursday. I will never get over that, April. And, it's interesting because I was going through the landing page, and I'm always like super careful with my language. And it said most ladies came by themselves. And I was like, is that really true? But I looked at it today at who came, and there were some groups. We had mother-daughter groups who came. We had 3 mother-daughters, I believe. And we had friends who came together, but there were quite a few people who came by themselves, but they found their tribe once they got there. So I really, really love that. I have a little bit of yellow and the magenta in my brush, so I'm going to do this one kind of both colors. We're going to see what happens. It's maybe going to be like a peachy color. But if you're working with different colors and you're If it seems disconjointed or like they don't go together, you can mix the colors together. Or you can find a third color and mix it into all of your colors, and that'll make them work together. I'm gonna do a green real quick, baby, and then we'll go, okay? And I'm gonna use my cerulean blue, which is, this one's a semi-transparent. It's not really transparent, but it'll be fine. Because I'm gonna use it with my yellow, and this is a weird yellow because it's opaque, which most yellows are transparent. Let me see if I have a transparent yellow in here. Oh, there's my color wheel.
So I just put all 3 of the hashtags in on Facebook, and they all sent me a message. So I have a bunch of messages waiting for me when we're done.
I'm gonna use a little bit. This is the opaque yellow, which is not optimum for what I want to do, but I'm gonna make it work. We're gonna have a make it work moment. I'm looking for this brush will do. So I have my blue. Oh, you guys can't even see what I'm doing. I have my blue and my yellow here, and I'm gonna add, and I'm adding clear coat. If you're someone who has acrylics on your craft space, or your, you know, in your space where you create, and you don't have like chalk paint. So if you have chalk paints, you're more likely to have a water-based varnish, right? If you have like chalk paint or clay-based paint. If you're using acrylics, you probably have like a medium, and you can mix your medium, your as long as it's in like a transparent medium, right, with your colors to get like the same kind of the same result. So I use my clear coat because that's what I had on here. So I'm gonna mix this color green here, and I'm gonna take this color and I'm gonna mix it in it. That way this green will seem like it belongs in this piece, because I'm literally mixing a color that I've used somewhere else. So like I could choose to put this yellow in everything that I do here so that everything looks like it goes together. Another way that you can do that is you can take, like, let's say these were the 3, like these are the, let's say these are all the colors I'm going to use for all of my mixings for this entire project. I could take and mix a little bit of each of these colors to make like a mother color. And then I could take that mixture and I could add it to each color, and everything would look, everything would look like it goes together as well. I prefer mixing one color because I feel like it enables me to keep my colors brighter. When you make that mother color, it really does neutralize your colors. And so my preference is to just pick one color and to mix it in with my colors, because every time you mix a color, you knock back the chroma or the brightness of your colors, if that makes sense. And so inside of our Crafting with Color course, we talk a lot about all of the elements of color, because for a lot of us, we think about hue, right? So yellow and blue makes green. It seals. No, I'm just kidding. Yellow and blue are green. And we know that. We know that, red and blue make purple. But there are other elements of color aside from the hue or the color of the colors. You have how dark and light the color is, how warm and cool the color is, how like chromatic, or how bright the color is, or is it a neutralized color? And so inside the course, we really do go over how you can control all those different kind of characteristics of color, so that when you're working in your projects, you're more likely to get exactly what you want, as opposed to settling for something because it's close enough. And if you want to know how to decoupage and you want to learn about color, the Decoupage with Confidence course, I did spend an entire module on mixing colors, because I understand that if you can mix your colors, you are like 85% of the way of being able to blend your decoupage papers. I wanted to show, yeah, okay. So this is a board that we did inside of the decoupage course because one of the questions I get the most is how can I blend in my decoupage paper? So I will tell you guys, let me see, because I had to do, this paper ends like right here is where the paper ends. And everything on this edge and over is me blending this paper into this piece. So like being able to match the color was literally like 85% of the challenge. And then the rest of the challenge was just replicating the texture of the paper to be able to extend it. So if you're really wanting to know like how you can blend your papers into your projects, we spent a lot of time in that class covering that. And knowing how to mix your colors is a big part of that. Are there any questions, baby? Because I feel like I'm just yammering on tonight. Are you guys tired of me yammering yet? What color should I do this? I'm thinking I should do this like a gold, but like I use gold on my flowers. So now I don't know. Because this isn't necessarily floral. I'll have to come up with something. And I still didn't finish this project. It's okay. This is one of those projects I feel like this is something that I'll probably put in my studio. And in those moments where I feel like I want to do something, but I don't necessarily have time or the energy to like set up a whole new project, that I can just come and work on this, right? And I like having projects like that in my space because sometimes we just need to sit down for our, I don't know, just for our emotional sanity, sit down and just kind of lose ourselves in something for a little bit, but we don't necessarily have the energy to start a full blown project. And so something like this is nice because you can just set it up in your space, and then when you feel like working on it, you can just sit down and paint some of it. So that's all I have for tonight, unless there were any more questions um, about what we're doing here tonight or about anything that we've spoken about tonight.
Kathleen Hoovis says like ivory, maybe ivory like plaster. And Chris Schmidt says copper, maybe. Flea says it's freezing. I'm not seeing that. I think it might just be you.
It does. It glitches. I'm seeing it.
Oh, are you? Because I haven't.
Yeah. I was on with Switcher Studio for a long time last week trying to work out what's going on, but I think it actually might be YouTube. So I might have to get on with them and figure something out because this was an okay alternative, but I really do like Switcher Studio better.
And Susan Glazer says, since you have green on the leaves, how about a blue?
A blue here on that, that would be pretty too.
And that's it.
That's it. Okay, that's all we have for tonight, you guys. I was going to talk about our lives. We are, our plan is to be live 2 Sundays a month. Recycled Insiders, you guys will get an email at the beginning of the month letting you know what days we'll be live. So make sure and just kind of, there'll be a button on there that says to RSVP. So if you click that you're going to go, you're more likely to get an alert when we do go live. So if you guys will do that, that'll help you. Because I know like you're not going to remember a date, what we said, right? But if you RSVP, then you're more likely to get an alert of when we're going to go live. I do have like a channel on my page. And so I will be sure, and just before we come live, I'll send a message through that channel, letting you guys know that we're gonna be live. I'm trying to think of what else we can do. Next week, the 20th, we would have been live, but we're going to do our last summer hoorah. Okay. No, we would have been live. 4th of July. I mean, it's the nickel picnic, yeah. So we would have been live. That's what Don was saying. Like I could go live that Saturday. But I don't want to do that. Okay.
It threw me off. It looked everything off, so I apologize.
So,
Normally you would not be on next Saturday because you're on this week
right.
or next Sunday.
But I would be on the following Sunday.
On the following Sunday we'll be traveling, so
Exactly.
instead you're gonna be on Saturday.
That's what I was trying to get to, babe. And you were saying, what?
Well, because you said next week, it's like no, you wouldn't be on next week.
No. Oh, I said next week. No. So ordinarily the 20th is what I said. We would be live that Sunday. But we won't be live because we'll be traveling with the kids for our last summer hoorah. But we will. I may pop on live. I think that my daughter-in-law wants to do a live on Saturday, so we may do a surprise live. I'll let you guys know because I think Ariana wants to do a live on Saturday. But low battery mode. I guess it's time for us to go. But that is all we have for tonight, you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. And you guys remember, I have a new saying for us for this year where curiosity goes, creativity follows. So remember to play, remember to experiment, and we will see you guys again soon. Have a good week.